Hey there, I'm working on a 2008 Toyota Highlander Limited Hybrid 3.3 liter. And I'm trying to switch out the front passenger side CV axle. And as everyone knows, getting that carrier bearing out is the main problem. Here's the bracket, here's the bearing. So what I did, I spent literally, this is my 4th day trying to get this thing apart. And what I finally did, as you can see, I removed most of the CV axle. Here's all the old axle right here. The one on the right is the new one. So I yanked that out. That took about 5 minutes. And I was left with this Tulip thing. And I drilled a hole through it right here. And I attached a slide hammer and tried yanking it out. That didn't do a damn thing. What ultimately worked is I unbolted this bracket from the engine, which is not actually that hard to do, except these are 14. These aren't the right bolts, but actually the right bolt is right there. That's a 14 millimeter head. As you can see, the bolt is pretty long. I put tape over it to protect it. The problem with this is that the drive shaft, this Tulip, is actually in the way of one of these bolts. So you need to cut the axle between the carrier bearing and the transmission. Actually, also not that hard to do. I just used a $30 Sawzall. This is the cheapest one they had at Harbor Freight. The Warrior 6-volt, and a couple of 6-inch. Actually, only took one 6-inch metal cutting blade, and this is the blade I used is this Bauer for thick metal, but it actually says it's for like up to a 1/4 inch thick or something like that. I had no problem getting through this. It took about 5 minutes with the Sawzall to cut through this shaft. Once I had it off, I soaked it with PB Blaster and liquid wrench just overnight. It took about less than 24 hours of putting oil through here, and you put it right in. I think the key spot is probably inside here. Okay, so what actually ended up working to get it loose, I bolted, as you can see, I bolted this onto a 2x4, not that long, maybe 2.5 feet long. This was stuck in here, and then I just swung this thing like it was an axe. You know, like this. Sorry, I know this isn't the best video. And I happen to have some big granite boulders in my yard, and I just slammed that pipe into the boulder right here, like that. Imagine the pipe was in there. And on the second whack, it just popped out. The very first whack, I saw it started to move. About 1/8 of an inch. Second one, it popped out. No problem. So I wish I had done that first, so good luck.